Really advanced mind with the ability to think in very intellectual terms for analytical terms, which comes down to it as being the one who is the genius, the innovator, the maverick, one who thinks ahead of their time and outside the typical box that society likes to place you in. Mercury in Aquarius is beside the conditions and truly is the sacred rebel. So if you have this placement in your birth chart, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the meaning of Mercury in Aquarius. I'm Ever Curdian on this YouTube channel that I'm putting this video on. I do videos on astrology, general astrology videos like this one, and weekly astrology videos for every single week and looking at the big transits for every week. Um, and the more important transits, not necessarily the moon aspecting Jupiter, for instance, or the moon trine Venus, those kind of things. I don't look at that um, on those videos. Um, but so anyway, getting into this particular video. Now there are some, now there's a belief out there of planetary dignity. And when it comes to planetary dignity in astrology, Mercury is exalted in the sign of Aquarius, meaning that Mercury can function at its most strongest power. Because what is Aquarius? It is the intellectual, it's the genius, it's the one who thinks in very innovative, collective, higher order thinking kinds of ways. And Mercury is communication, so you have the small mind in the sign ruled by Uranus is the bigger mind, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So if you put Mercury and Aquarius together, boom, firework. Communication out the wazoo. Communication that is a ticket to Moon 1 compared to, let's say, Mercury and Gemini, for instance, or a lot of Gemini energy in the natal chart. So, um, Aquarius represents flashes of insight. Aquarius is new, innovative ideas that are from a higher place. And so that is why Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. Now, in terms of if you have Mercury in Aquarius in your birth chart, you think you have a very, very good sense of logic to you. Your sense of logic is very high up in the charts. Very well moding, very well doting, um, very locomotive. So your logic is very, very strong. You can think very logically, you can think very rationally, and be cut off emotionally, be detached emotionally, compartmentalizing, and separating the emotions from the logic and choosing to follow the logic, the left-brained, um, way of thinking. I'd like to think that I think that Aquarius is a sign that loves humanity, but in terms of human relationships, can be detached, can be the lone wolf, can be distant in those relationships. But there is a love and a compassion for humanity. And that's speaking to my Neptune and Aquarius in my birth chart. There's a compassion, there's a sense of empathy for the more intellectual ideas of humanity as a whole, as opposed to individual people. Um, and so there's a strong desire to serve humanity, to benefit humanity, to give back to humanity, to truly be there and do something courageous for humanity. Now, you have a very, very original outlook on life. That can be said very strongly. Your thinking may be very high up in the charts. Your thinking may be very genius level. You have a very, very strong sense of intelligence. Subjects that might interest you are metaphysics, technology, and astrology. Yeah, there's a really, really big piece here when it comes to the company of like-minded individuals and enjoying that company. Really being part of something bigger than yourself with like-minded people, grassroots up, working with like-minded people, connecting, networking with those people. When you are with people that truly get you, that truly understand you on a soul level, because your relationships are very, very important and they will impact your work. If you have the best of the cream of the crop of relationships, your work will also be the cream of the crop. If you have a lot of weeds in your garden, that's what your work is going to be. You know, so you want to be with people that truly get you, that truly support you, that truly have your back, that are 100% in alignment with your own personal goals, your own personal net pines, your own personal ambitions. So your unemotional approach to knowledge and truth, this approach has a very, very strong impact on your relationships and interactions with others. So can you be there for others emotionally? Can you empathize with others on an emotional level? And can you also detach and use your logic and reasoning? Your communication is very unique, very forward thinking, very progressive, very out there at times. You're very, there's a joy here of presenting ideas that are revolutionary, innovative, imaginative, inventive ideas that you enjoy presenting those ideas to others. Communicating on Zoom or Skype or chat or any communication through technology is advised for this placement very strongly. There's also a joy of pushing the boundaries of conventional expression, going beyond those boundaries, and expressing yourself in unique and original ways. You seek out unconventional modes of communication. Now, subjects that may be of interest to you if you have strong Pisces in your chart, in addition to Mercury and Aquarius, is you can make a great poet, creative writer, and an artist. Wonderful for this placement because of that genius mind. Aquarius can certainly be artistic, not just drawing Chinese Mandarin words on a t-shirt. Not just painting graffiti in the city, not just painting murals, but doing multiple different types of art. Jupiter, Chiron, Aries types of art, that kind of thing. So anyway, um, you have an analytical mind that thrives on abstract thought at the same time as logic. Both. Your mind is super high powered, super high charged. You're open to explore revolutionary ideas and concepts. You're all about acquiring knowledge, understanding the world in a much deeper way at the other end of the spectrum. So you enjoy learning, you enjoy collecting and gathering information and communicating that out in a very jobulin kind of way. You enjoy pursuing your interests at your own individual pace, not conforming to how you must learn by others in a rushed way, in a structured way. So school might be very challenging for this placement because the system, you might break outside the system and you might be a sacred rebel and you might be somebody who learns at their own pace in their own conventional way, in a way that is unique and different from how others learn. Especially so because your Mercury is in Aquarius. So let's face it, everybody learns in a different way, but you are especially special to that wrong enough. So your opinions and thoughts are based on your own understanding and experience, not defined by traditional norms, expectations, and conventions of ways of being. So that is really, really important to know. You selflessly care for others and their human rights. You value collective thinking. You think in a very broad collective manner. You think in innovative and inventive ways. You may be weird and you may thrive at being a genius. You are obedient, but only to your heart and soul, only to your higher self, only to your authentic desire to what you want to serve in this life. That's that's what you are authentic to. You think in progressive ways. It's what you are obedient to. Um, you have a future-minded approach to life. You have a very, very strong ability to detach and think very objectively in your thinking. You're more concerned with facts as opposed to feelings. So that's what is strong within you. Give yourself a break from time to time. Don't overthink and don't rationalize and come up with these big plans all the time. Take a break. Chill out. Relax. Um, and so you may be unorthodox in your thinking and communication. You are an engaging conventionalist with something interesting and insightful to say. So that is very, very strong. Um, you enjoy inspiring others with your insightful words. You enjoy thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating conversations. You need intellectual freedom. You need the freedom to think for yourself, to speak for yourself. You're drawn to logical and scientific thinking. It might be original with a unique sense of humor. Very, very good for that. You love to teach society new ideas. There's a need here for authenticity, freedom, and experimentation. If you have Mercury in Aquarius, um, you like to experiment, you like to try things out, see things work, and you need the freedom to do so. If you are a Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces, you may have Mercury and Aquarius in your chart. Your mind is very active with great intellectual ability. You hunger for knowledge and learning. Your thinking is based upon improving structures and revolutionizing how things are done. You're hugely intelligent. You have a love for reading and writing. You enjoy putting yourself in environments that are different from your own. That is really huge. You like unusual perspectives. You might speak very fast about things. You might come across as reserved when meeting new people. That may be potentially huge. You may be interested in psychology or sociology. You may be a scientist who is also a problem solver. That is really what it is all about for you. There may be issues with authority figures that you may have. These issues may come up very, very strongly in your life. Um, there's a dislike for emotional closeness, needing to be detached, needing to have your space from others, because Aquarius doesn't want to get too emotionally enmeshed and involved. It is connected yet detached. Think of the two waves. They're together, but there's a space between them. That it's that you are detached in a healthy way, of course. You're hyper aware of social injustice, want to fix social injustice. You're drawn to original and inspiring people. You see things from a unique perspective. You don't do what you're told if it doesn't make sense to you. You question what you're told. Why are things this way? Why should I do this way? What's the point? What's the benefit of doing things? You're not afraid to be a rebel and question things out. You need to be around open-minded individuals that are willing to listen to you. that is really important. Um, Being around people that are really willing to hold space for you in that way, in that intellectual kind of way. You like subjects in school where you can really use your creative reading to your advantage. You may be into technology, or maybe open-minded to new experiences. You're all about the facts. That's what you're all about. You may communicate on behalf of the collective, thinking very broadly about humanity as a whole. Your mind is stable and easy, and you're very concentrated. You have a very scientific understanding of everything. You like to understand things from a scientific point of view. You seek mental and intellectual stimulation in your friendships, and you act and make decisions from a place of logic rather than by your intuition, your emotions, or your heart. Now, if you have strong Aquarius in your chart or strong areas in your chart, or if you have this placement, I recommend buying and working with the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Atlanta Fairchild. That deck is wonderful for tapping into your rebellious nature, your individual spark to live a meaningful and authentic life that is true for you, and really using that deck and working with it to put you on a path of owning your own individual sovereignty. So I highly recommend that you go check out that deck, purchase it, and use it if you have this placement or if you have strong Aquarius in your natal birth chart. So that is all I have to say on Mercury and Aquarius in your chart. Thank you for watching this video. Like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everybody.